5 cheap things that expensive cars do. Skateboard grip tape as floor mats. Remember when Lamborghini actually made the Diablo Super Veloce the cheapest model since it weighed less, therefore used less parts, thus costed less? Yeah, gone are those days, because in today's day and age, having less actually costs more. If you want to replace the several $1,000s option of super luxurious leather floor mats custom crafted, and instead just get $20 skateboard grip tape, well, instead of saving money and getting some of those thousands back, you're actually going to get upcharged, because it's not just any grip tape, it's Lamborghini grip tape. The good news is, as an avid skater myself, if you ever do need to replace that grip tape, just get like Grizzly grip tape or Jessup or really anything other than the stock factory Lamborghini ones, and then just have like a skater carve the pattern. It's gonna look exactly it might actually be better because Grizzly makes probably better grip tape than Lamborghini does. I don't see them making skateboards. And the whole reason the Super Veloce and SVJ feature this grip tape is weight saving, and it's marketed like crap because of that, hence the markup as well as the extreme aesthetic. Meanwhile, if you were to do the same exact thing on your car, you'd probably just be called a ricer. And that's going to be the common theme of this video, is that really expensive cars get away with doing cheap things like this and aren't considered rice because it's extreme when it does it, because to them it's really out there, you know? And the next entry falls in the exact same logic, which is stickers instead of badges. So again, if any cheap car were to do this, you'd be considered a ricer or someone who's too cheap to go on Amazon and buy a replacement badge and instead just printed out a small vinyl. Well, when it comes to high-end Porsches, they actually don't even have badges and instead come from factory with stickers. And this is because badges weigh too much, silly. They also bulge out too much, which ruins the car's aerodynamics. By the way, that's not me exaggerating for humor, that's actually Porsche's actual reasoning for doing that. Yeah, imagine saving a few grams from a badge and the improved aero from who cares. Anyways, the point is, I guess in their perspective, it did save them money. And again, it's seen in the same light as extreme weight reduction, bro. Look at all the lengths they went to and all the sacrifices they made, and you know, whatever, it looks really avant-garde and people praise it, but if it happens to any other car, not the same exact response. But on a Porsche, it's alright. By the way, this isn't me hating on Lamborghini or Porsche, I just think they didn't go extreme enough, especially like I said, these are expensive cars, they're actually higher priced than the base model, you're paying more for getting less. And it doesn't make sense if that was the case, they should have gone all out, balls to the wall. Like, take a look at cars like the Ferrari F40. That car didn't even bother having carpeted floors. You can see the exposed carbon fiber. Like, the whole skateboard grip tape just seems so cute. Like, if you really want to be extreme Lamborghini, don't even bother putting anything there. Just show off the carbon fiber. Who cares if it gets dirty? It's supposed to be balls to the wall race car. An inconsistent message I'm getting here. Like, if you really want to lose weight, there are so many more actual extreme things that you could do than very, I guess, attention grabby ones like, ooh, grip tape, ooh, sticker badges, we're so unique and cool. Like, those are just such random places to lose weight that, in my opinion, aren't worth bragging about. Like, these companies make a huge deal about it. In the next entry, you're going to see why the Aventador, especially for the Super Veloce, it was cancelled out. The decision to put grip tape actually gained weight back somewhere else, you'll see. Outdated technology. A lot of modern high-end luxury cars and supercars always have this weird quirk of just having horribly outdated technology or horribly misplaced technology. For example, how to open windows in a lot of supercars really is never located in a logical area. It's always the exact opposite of what any human with a functioning brain would put it. When it comes to technology, let's take a look at a 2016 Lamborghini Aventador Super Veloce. So this car still has an iPod connector, but no Bluetooth compatibility, which is rather strange considering that other Aventadors do feature Bluetooth. And this time, it's not for weight reduction, because instead of featuring Bluetooth, it has a freaking CD player. Yeah, that's kind of weird. So instead of a lightweight Bluetooth system, it went with a physical CD player that no one probably uses, because who uses CD players in a 2016 Lamborghini? So for a car that has skateboard grip tape for lightweight, I think it just gained all that weight back with the freaking CD player. Nice one, Lamborghini. Fortunately, Lamborghini isn't even close to being the worst offender. Have y'all seen a 2017 Maserati Gran Turismo M6 Stradale? Yeah, you should probably bleach your eyes before you do, because that's probably going to be less painful. Anyways, I was recently in the market for several of these MC Stradales, and honestly, I was going to bring one home to my garage, probably because I'm Chinese, and Chinese people for some reason really like Maseratis, but unfortunately, I was far too shell-shocked by how crap its interior was for how much they cost. And keep in mind, this is coming from someone who drives a plastic, fantastic American car, so when I say it's bad, it's pretty bad. For $180,000 MSRP, the MC Stradale has no USB, no Bluetooth, a 2007 GPS, no reverse camera, no push start, no digital clock, and still has a physical phone dial. Oh, but by the way, it does have 6 cup holders, so hopefully that makes you feel better. Yeah, that's right, 4 seats and 6 cup holders. I think it needs to donate some to BMW, because that's an insane ratio. Anyways, if you want to use Bluetooth to connect your phone and call friends, well, you can't, brother. But as long as you remember their phone number, you can still punch it in while dangerously taking your eyes off the road and using the lame phone dial thing. The salesman tried to convince me that the MC Stradale does this for the sake of retaining nostalgia. You can't fool me, these are Fiat Chrysler parts, and Peugeot as well. Trust me, I know cheap American plastic when I see it. After all, I've been seeing it every day of my life for 4 years now. If I wanted a cheap American plastic car, then I'd expect to pay the price for a cheap American plastic car. Not a marked to high hell by almost being 200 grand to then also feature bad technology, because get this, American cars like a used Mustang, those actually still have better technology, so even though they're plastic, at least you have like Sirius FM, and at least you have probably one of the better infotainment systems in the market. I love the GPS in my 2016. And even funnier, they'll be faster too. Honestly, just get any other car. Get a BMW, get a Lexus RCF, get anything. And if you want the sound, get a used Maserati, because the whole design language of modern Maseratis they just reek of corporate greed. They try to put as little as possible while charging as much as possible, all under the guise of maintaining nostalgia. Whereas something with the lack of badges and the use of skateboard grip tape, you know, it's ridiculous, but it's ridiculously charming at least. Lack of technology never comes off as charming in any way, it just comes off as really dated and really lazy car design. It's no wonder why Maseratis tank value faster than an actual tank falling from the sky. If you really want one, get one used for like 45 grand, and you're still gonna lose to a Mustang and BMW at the stoplight, but at least you'll look slightly better than them while still having spent a far more reasonable amount than the original MSRP of 180 grand. Also, PS, please stop saying only real high-class men can understand the class and luxury of a Maserati. Every single salesman said it. Every single Maserati white knighting fanboy in YouTube comment section says it. I don't know why this is their go-to insult, because any real man, as they put it, would actually have a set of eyes, and with those set of eyes, they would know that, wow, this car is a ripoff. You've heard the saying that a fool is easily parted with their money, and you truly have to be a fool to easily part with 180 grand for something like this. There are so many better things you can do with that money, and a real, truly high-class person focuses on building wealth. Again, don't be a fool who's easily parted with your money. You work so hard for all this. Don't spend it on this. Don't support corporate laziness like this. These words aren't out of hate, rather they're out of former love. I used to love Maserati. I grew up admiring them. They've been around for more than a century, one of the few car companies that can say that and still be around. Just kidding, they aren't. As far as I'm concerned, the childhood me who once cheered for Maserati on the tracks, they're dead now. There is no Maserati left. They're just a shadow of themselves. A fall from grace, just an absolute disgrace. They always beg little sister Ferrari for help, or mommy Chrysler. I've always wanted to have one in my garage, but if I were to buy one these days, it wouldn't even be a Maserati I'm buying, I'd just be buying a glorified Fiat Chrysler car, and that breaks my heart more than anything. Bus taillights, Nissan headlights, official Lamborghini design. So everyone who knows about Lamborghini Diablo's headlights, you probably already know that they're just Nissan 300ZX ones. But if you watched my video about it, you would have also learned that it had a rather tragic upbringing, and this caused it to cheap out in many other places. For this entry, we'll just be flipping from the front to the rear. If you want to learn more about the Diablo, go watch that video. Now, the rear taillights, they're sourced from the same exact factory that, you guessed it, makes freaking bus taillights. Now, it's not alone, as many other high-end cars also do the same exact thing. For example, the McLaren F1, that's like, how much is that car worth these days? Like 5 million? 10 million? I don't even know. The point is, it has freaking $5 bus taillights, as did the American hypercar Celine S7. And just when you thought that Italy couldn't stop with Lamborghini, well, guess what? The Pagani Zonda also uses the same bus taillights. The Spiker C8 also uses these bus taillights. Honestly, I could probably make a whole video about it. But anyways, if this taught me anything, it's that the importance of creativity with limited resources can sometimes trump the cheapness of said resources. So I imagine they were really over budget, considering that, well, these cars already have a rather obscene price to them. So they're like, look, we gotta cheap out somewhere the customers really probably won't care that much. And they're like, all right, $5 bus taillights, here they go. And when you look at cars like the Pagani Zonda, they actually organize them in a rather creative way, giving it that alien formation, and it makes me forgive them a little bit. Now, that's not to say that bus taillights were all the rage, as Lotus preferred to borrow their lights from their wealthy husband Toyota. The Lotus Esprit uses the same light as a Toyota Corolla. It didn't just stop with lights, as Lotus would eventually use entire Toyota engines in their vehicles, such as the Elise, Exige, and even their modern-day Evoras. Which brings us right to the final topic of this video. Not so bespoke engines in bespoke cars. I have a whole video dedicated to this topic with extraordinary cars with ordinary engines. If you want more of that in detail, go watch that video. The Pagani Zonda uses a Mercedes AMG V12. The $1 million Koenigsegg CC8S uses a $500 modified Ford Crown Victoria modular V8. Now that's some serious stonks. Oh, but bladed, it's a 4.7, not a 4.6 liter. Guys, you can bore an engine. It's not that complicated. Honestly, its displacement only went up by 0.1 liter. Christian von Koenigsegg himself admits that, yes, confirmed, it is a Ford modular V8. As a massive Koenigsegg fanboy, I don't see that as an insulting stain on their legacy. Rather, I see it as humble beginnings. Everyone starts somewhere. It's insane this Swedish powerhouse that now makes fully built in-house bespoke masterpieces started by tuning your grandma's Crown Victoria engine that costs the same as your PlayStation. And before someone calls me a hypocrite with the whole Maserati using Ferrari engines, look, Maserati took a good Ferrari modular engine and made it worse somehow and even less reliable, whereas Koenigsegg took a cheap Ford engine and made it fantastic. So you see the difference there? A great company with money somehow ruined an already great engine, but a company just starting to made it extremely great. That's why I praise Koenigsegg for using a Ford engine, but shame Maserati for misusing a Ferrari engine. Even more humble, he admits it. You know how many car companies try to hide the fact that they use an American engine and try to be like, oh no, we were always bespoke and high class. And the reason I mention this is because the next topic does talk about those companies. Everyone and their mom uses a Corvette LS or LT engine. I have a whole video series, 4 videos dedicated to these cars. I'm not joking, check them afterwards. More specifically, check my most recent one, which is 18, that's right, count them, 18 supercars that I found that use Corvette engines and try to market themselves as prestigious works of art. And they charge for ridiculous prices, some even in the millions. And it's really funny seeing that fanboys constantly badmouth the Corvette for being a trashy American redneck car, and that it's never gonna be a true supercar. Yet these are the same people who drool over these other supercars that use a Corvette engine. So yeah, that's right. I'ma just chill here and laugh at American while those fanboys experience utter heartbreak. Go on. Other than that, see y'all next time. Blade Angel out.